Hi, my name's Andy, and this is the second part of a video that I'm making that relates to the Eddystone S680X communications receiver. This receiver belongs to a friend of mine, and I hope to repair it before it's sold. I'll try and keep a video record of the work that I do in order to repair it. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the video. Thanks for watching. What I didn't show you was in the top. This gives access to the valves, so we'll come into that in a minute. Okay, I'll get you some close-ups now. So it's just giving you a close-up of those controls that I talked you through. And that's the display, and say that's an S meter there, but it has a very nice feel to that. So down the left hand side, the graduations are marked scale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then over at this end we can see that's megahertz for the top 4 ranges and kilohertz for the bottom range. And of course this bottom scale is simply a reference 0 to 2500, and so that'll work in conjunction with this scale up above. So in the top, as the power section, has obviously been a replacement capacitor there. It looks as if all of the valves are in place, but I'll have it out of the case and we'll have a little look around and see what we think. Spare fuses, or spare fuse, but position for 2. And for the fanatics out there, for the people that know about these things, so that's the serial number there. One thing you notice about this radio is those are the power valves, I'm assuming, the rectifier and stabilizer, but all of the other valves, I'm sorry, it's 2 more, most of the other valves are screened, and everything in here is in a metal box. So good RF screening. The back of the equipment is vented, and so it's an all steel construction. Then we've got PU, which normally I'd say is pickup, but I'm not quite sure what that is. 2.5, so I assume this is the outputs, but a little low, 2.5 ohms, and 600 ohms center, marked with a center tap. So again, that's I'm not fully sure what's going on there, unless it's just a high impedance output, but I don't know why it'd be center tapped. There's a little potentiometer here, which I think one of them is for centering the S meter, but I really don't know yet. This is marked A and E, so aerial and earth there, and the final little position there. I don't know what that is yet, so I'm learning. You may know more about this radio than me. External relay, I would imagine that may have something to do with if the equipment is used with a transmitter, so it's switched off on receive, but having said that, I don't know. And for some reason this little bit of aluminium, the screws look the same as those, but seeing as though it's not painted, I wonder if that's an addition. Anyway, I'll open it up and we'll have a look inside. The outer casing is held in place with 4 screws, and it looks like 2 of them are missing. Well, they are missing. And the case, I'll show you something here. I've got the radio set on its carrying handles here, so this is the front panel, and this is the case pointing up in the air, and you see here and here, I'll just zoom in, it's marked there Y43 on the body of the case, and on the front panel it's marked again Y43. So to me, as a manufacturer, I would assume that these are a matched pair. The front part of the radio is some sort of casting, and the case itself would have been fabricated, and I suspect that it has just been tweaked to fit the front panel very accurately, and so they've had to identify them, or they've identified them to make sure that they stay together as a pair after painting. And this company, Eddystone, prided themselves on the screening, particularly of this piece of equipment. There's an aperture here and here, and these are to let a tool in, just to ease these two things apart. It's a very snug fit. So just looking into the radio for the first time to have a good look around it, this is quite a curious thing. This switch is the selectivity switch, and it seems to have a bunch of fingers that disappear off into the IF cans. So whether or not it's sliding in some ferrite or a screen, or whether or not it's operating a switch, I haven't looked at the circuit diagram enough to work that out, but in 3 cases this switch, which is really quite stiff to operate here, so it moves these 3 cams. So I don't really want to open up the IF cans unless there's something wrong with them, so maybe somebody that knows all about these will tell us what's in there. By the way, anything interesting I find out, and I think it's worth making a note of, I'll put in the comments box, or the about box, that's associated with this video. So this panel will hold all of the tuning components by the look of it, so again, I don't really want to go in there unless I have to. And then moving over towards the power section, well, clearly we've got a wire hanging off here, and I believe it was a choke that was on the other side, which is missing. There's a capacitor here that has been, sorry, get that in view. There's a capacitor here that has been replaced and is in need of some attention. So it looks like that's going to be the area that's likely to need attention down there. So as I say, I think it was a choke there. I just very quickly looked on the components drawing, and oh yes, I noticed before I turned it over, this switch has had a little clout at some stage in its life, but it still functions okay. Okay, so you've seen it as fresh as I have. Oh, I need to turn it around. Okay, I've just turned it around, so as you can see the other side there, and under here, just looking down from the top, is the biggest tuning capacitor I've ever seen. It fills this whole space, or appears to. This down here is the area where the choke is missing. Just get you down there. But apart from that, as I say, there's this capacitor that's wobbling around. and it looks as though there's a fuse holder between V14 and 15 that's missing. Other than that, it looks complete. So as the days or weeks go by, I'll endeavour to get it on the air, and I'll probably be limited by the availability of parts. So I hope you found that interesting. Thanks for watching, and do have a look at the comments box or the about box to see if there's any interesting additions. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye bye.